In this video, I'm going to show you how to enable user registrations on your WordPress website. So this is a beautiful example website I've just created. This is a daycare website. So let's take, for example, you have a similar kind of business. You want to enable user registrations for a few reasons. You want only registered members and logged in members to leave the ability or give them the ability to leave comments on your site, or you want them to also contribute to your site. Both use cases will require that you enable this feature and also configure this feature. So what we'll do is, first we'll head into our WordPress website. I'm also already logged in. You might also require to log into your site. What we'll do is we'll go into WordPress settings first. So I'll go into the settings here. I'm going to go into general settings. And inside the general settings, this is the setting you'll need to look for, membership. You need to enable this option first. First, we'll click here, and now the feature will be enabled once we save our settings. But we also have to look at this feature, which is new user default role. Now, if you leave it to subscriber, then users will be able to just leave comments and also just consume the content. But there's some other roles as well that you can assign to default people or people when they actually sign up your website. So the roles are contributor, author, editor, and admin. Now, contributor means that they can submit content, but you'll be finally approving them. Author, that means they can submit and approve their own content. Editors, that means that somebody can take care of or publish other people's submitted content as well. I'll leave a piece of documentation in the description of this video which explains all these features in detail. Now, just to keep in mind, since we are opening up registrations to anyone, the least amount of authority and least amount of control they have on your website, the better. So let's say you want someone to give, or you want users to have the ability to submit content on your website, then contributor is fine, or you can leave them at subscriber. I'll just leave this at subscriber for now. And once I have done this and done this, I'll scroll back to the bottom of the page. I'm going to click save changes. And now I have enabled the feature. Now users can actually register to my site. But if I go to the website here, you won't see any change. I'll refresh the page and still you won't see any changes because the feature is enabled, but it's not publicly available, or it does not automatically appear on the site. You still need to advertise it or add it to certain location on your site so that actually you can let people know that they can register. Now, I'll give you a very simple way on how to do it. So what I'll do is I'll just copy the URL of the page or the website. I'm going to open an incognito window so that I'm not already logged in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to type in login, which is the typical way you would log in. Now, once you log in, you see that this is the typical login page in WordPress. This is what you see typically when you are trying to log into WordPress. But there's one difference that you might notice, which is this link right here. So the WordPress login page essentially also acts as a registration page when you enable the registration feature inside WordPress. And what users can do is click this button and they'll reach a certain page where they can register on your website. Now, here's the fun part. If you copy this URL and just place it anywhere on the site, users can directly reach this page as well. So if I go to the URL bar here, I press Ctrl+C, I copy this URL. Now this URL can be placed anywhere on the site, and then users will be able to register once they click this button and reach this particular page. So I'm going to show you a few different ways on how I would actually add this I'd say URL to different places on my website. So I'll go here, and this is the website that we're building, or this is the website we have. You can have a different looking website. First thing, I'll show you how to add this to, let's say, the header and also the footer. So right now I'm using the Astra theme, which has or supports the customizer and also supports the header footer builder. So since this is the home page, I'm going to click customize, and this will open up the customizer. Now, the Astra theme has a custom, or I say a different feature where you can customize your header and footer in a different way. Your theme might support it differently. So I'm just going to show you the example with the Astra theme. I'm going to click the header or I'm going to click the edit button, and it will open up the header footer builder. And this is where I can actually, let's say I can change the menu here, or I can click this and change the button. So I can just click this button, and instead of enroll now, I can say register. Oops, spelling error. And I can change this to the registration link. And now you see this button is for the registration link. If I save my changes here, let's publish the site. Let's go back to the incognito window I had. And if I go back to the site now, instead of the login page, now you'll see that this is now a register button. And if I click here, this takes me directly to the registration page, which is what you want. Now you can do the same thing in multiple areas. The concept remains the same. since I've just added to the header, I can do the same thing in the footer. I can do it to the sidebar or widget enabled areas of my site as well. Let me just give you a quick demonstration of how you do it on different areas. So right now this is the footer, or this is the header, sorry. If I scroll down to the footer here on the page and I click this, now I'm editing the footer. Now inside the footer, I can place these links anywhere. So if I click the HTML here, I'll have the ability to edit the HTML here. So if I can just do this, I'll just do register now. I can do this and I can just convert this to a link. I'll just paste this link and enter. And now you see the link has been added here, which users can click. What I can do similarly is I can just change these. If I click this, this is actually a menu. So I can go back inside the WordPress menu, add the specific link to register inside the menu, which is the footer quick link menu, and this will appear here as well. Similarly, this is again a different menu. I can do this, or inside your website or your theme, you might have different features or different areas where you can actually customize these things. So once you're done with the header, you can do it to the footer as well. I'm not saying that you need to add it to every place, but I'm just giving you options or how you would do it. Similar to this, your website might also have say sidebars or other widget enabled areas. Let me show you how you would do that as well. So you'd go here, and inside the WordPress, I'd say the admin area, you can go into the appearance and widget sections or widget areas, and this will let you define how widgets or what you can do with widgets on your site. So right now, let's say this is a typical, I'd say, a sidebar which appears on your website. What you can do is add a new block or also add the meta block. There are two different ways to do this. So I'll add here, I'll type the meta block. And what the meta block shows is just gives meta options, which means login, register, and some other options. So you can leave it this, or you can add the meta, I say the widget, which is a legacy widget. Easier way to do this is instead of the meta widget, you can just add a new block here. So I'll just delete the meta here, remove legacy widget. I'll just click a new block and I'll just type in button. And since in modern WordPress, widgets are now blocks, so anything that you can do with the block builder, you can now do directly inside widgets. So if I go to the button section here, I can actually add a button here. And if I click or type in register, and if I go to the button settings and button configurations, I can actually just change the URL of the button to this. And again, I'll just press enter. And now this is a button I have added to the sidebar, and now this button or the link to the button will be to the registration page. So these are some common ways that you can actually do this and enable, or I say encourage users to register on your site. There's another way that you can do this. This will be much more simpler. You can also create a dedicated page where you just talk about people, or talk about, let's say, the basic common rules that you have when people actually contribute to your site, and then give the users the ability to register. So let's create that page on the site. I'll go to the pages section. I'll click add new, since we are creating a new page. And I'll just leave this changes. And this is the typical block builder that you are used to in WordPress. I'm just going to name the page, I'll say registration guidelines. And inside the block editor, what I'll do is, let's say I'll type out a piece of text which says, hey, if you register, make sure that you don't spam and don't harass other people, be courteous, or whatever rules you have when you actually enable users to register and contribute to your site, or whatever rules and regulations, or whatever I say roles you're assigning to your users. So let's say I type out some piece of text here or some sample text, and you can just keep typing the text, add some images, add some references. And once you're done, at the end of the page, or technically anywhere on the page, you can add a direct link or also a button block. So I'm going to use a button here as a reference. I'm going to type in button, and this is the button block. And again, which is very similar, I'll just do it. I'll say register now. And inside register now, I'll just take and I'll just link it to this page. And once again, I'll submit. And I'll publish this post. I'm going to publish it once again. And I'm going to copy the URL, and I'm going to open it in the incognito window that we have. And I'm going to just do this and close the previous tab. I'm going to open this page. Now this is a brand new page that I've just created on the website. So let's say you had this entire website, and instead of adding something to the sidebar or adding something to the footer or the header, you wanted a separate page so that users actually go through the entire rules that you've set for contributing to the site, and then they have the ability to register. So you can do this instead. And if you create this page, you can now promote this page in any area of your site. So example, this link and this link right now are the same, but what you can do is just change this link to this page. So users will click this button, which is visible throughout the website, come to this page, and then they'll read all the system that you've created, the way that you conduct your community, and then they'll have the ability to click this link, which will again take them to the registration area. Now, let me show you how it works. I'm going to register on this website with a sample email. I'm going to show you how it works. All right, give me a second. So I just filled in the details and submitted my registration, and you can see the registration is now complete. You'll get confirmation details on the email that I actually use, and you'll get confirmed that, hey, you're now registered. And back in the admin area, when actually a user does this, what you will be able to see is, if you go back to the admin area of your website, inside the users menu, which I am in right now, you go to users, all users, you'll see this new registration that I just created, and this is my original user, because you can see the same profile picture, and this is where you'll see new users being registered, and the profile picture will be pulled in from Gravatar. So if their profile picture set, you can see this, you'll be able to see their email, you'll be able to see the role and how many posts they have contributed to the site. And from here, you can edit their whatever status, you can delete them, you can view what the data they have done and whatever their profile is. You can send a password reset to them manually, and also you can change the user role as well. So if you click here and you can go to change role, you can actually let's say promote them to a contributor or a higher role if you see that they are actually contributing to the site in a positive and meaningful way. So this is how you enable user registrations on your website. There's a couple extra things that you can do. You can spice up the registration page and the login page of your WordPress website. And if you want to learn how to do that, there's a video right here, and also an extra video, bonus video, which you can use this to spice up the registration process and login process as well. This has been fun, and I hope you got some value out of this. And if you want to accelerate your WordPress education, consider subscribing to this channel as well. My name is Yuvraj, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.